My family stayed in my apartment for one weekend and now confidently refers to me as the roommate. When I first got my apartment, I was proud in a very specific adult way, like I figured out how trash pickup works proud. It wasn't big, but it was mine. One bedroom, one couch, one bathroom where the door actually closed. To celebrate, I invited my family to visit for the weekend. They stayed exactly 48 hours. Apparently, that's the legally binding minimum required to claim ownership. The first warning sign was my mom's toothbrush. It appeared in my bathroom cup like it had always lived there. I figured she forgot it. A week later, she called and asked, "Did you move my toothbrush?" I said, "Your toothbrush? From my apartment?" She sighed like I was being difficult. "Yes, I don't want it touching yours." That's when I should have hung up. A month later, my sister came over unannounced. No text, no knock, just the sound of keys in the door. I ran out of my bedroom thinking I was being robbed, only to find her standing in my kitchen, arms crossed, staring into my fridge. "Why don't you have snacks?" she asked. I wasn't expecting company. She shrugged. "You should always expect company. This is a shared space." I laughed. She didn't. Then my dad got involved. He showed up one afternoon carrying a toolbox and said he was doing a walkthrough. I asked what that meant. He said, "Seeing what needs improvement." He rotated my couch because it blocked the energy, tightened a screw on a cabinet I've never opened, and replaced one of my light bulbs with a brighter one because this room feels like a waiting area. He sat down afterward and said, "Much better. We'll be more comfortable now." From that point on, it escalated fast. My mom started mailing packages to my address. When I confronted her, she said my building was more delivery friendly. My sister changed the thermostat whenever she visited and left passive-aggressive sticky notes like 72 is reasonable. My dad began answering my door if someone knocked while I was home. The absolute breaking point came on a Tuesday. I got home from work, exhausted, dreaming of leftovers and silence. I opened the door and walked straight into my entire family sitting at my kitchen table eating pasta. No warning, no message, no explanation. My mom waved. "Oh, good, you're home. We weren't sure where you kept the forks." I asked why they were there. My sister said, "Dinner." My dad said, "We figured it made sense to eat here since this is where we live." I stared at them and said, very clearly, "This is my apartment." They all froze. Then my mom said, "But we stayed here first." My sister nodded. "Yeah, you technically moved into our space." My dad pulled out his phone and showed me photos from that first weekend. My mom asleep on the couch, my sister's suitcase in the corner, my dad holding a mug in my kitchen like he was documenting a land claim. "You see?" he said. "Established presence." I snapped. I told them to leave immediately. I pointed at the door like a game show host eliminating contestants. They argued. They negotiated. My mom asked if she could just leave her things. I said no. They finally left, but not before my dad said, "You'll calm down eventually," and my mom reminded me to water her plant. I do not own a plant. A few days later, I came home to find a note taped to my door. "Stopped by, but you weren't home. Call us when you get back to the apartment." Not your apartment. The apartment. I changed the locks. My family now refers to my place as the old apartment and talks about it like I kicked them out of a shared home after a bad breakup. And every time they visit, they still ask, "So, where should we sit?"